Production values, which is something I like talking about in everything. I know when listening to TAAQ that there is this thing where it just sounds amazing. Okay, I have to put it out there. I mean, you're the mixing, the mastering. I'm guessing you play a big role in it. You don't just say, okay, do what you want, right? Can you tell us about how important that is and why, if it means anything to you, does it mean anything to you?
Oh, it's always meant a great deal, and once again to underline our kind of ancient roots in the late 90s. So when we started recording our first recording was in 96, mid 96, and it was a terrible experience because we had no knowledge of recording, we had nobody to help, and we just we had a small amount of money. We checked into a studio and we did what we could, and we ended up with some truly pathetic results. Thankfully, we have about not many people know this, but before the first album, which came out in 2000, we have about 16 songs that nobody has heard. So there are 16 demo tracks in addition to the 8 albums that we've released that nobody has heard till now, for good reason, because they're all like really, really bad.
But can they be mastered? Can they be remastered?
They can't, because we recorded on something called SVHS tapes, and those tapes have been lost. And so we only have some. I think we have some MP3s of the initial recordings. We have some small mini disc kind of things that we don't even have players for anymore.
Probably on floppy disk somewhere, which has guitar solo version 3.
So that's pretty much done. So I have some digital copies, yes, but that's it. But yeah, so from there to so that was let's say that's where we started from scratch, from nothing, right? We didn't know what was good and what was not. But in the early 2000s, we met this engineer from Pondicherry called Didier, and he happened to be a friend of our bass player at that point, Rudy. And it was only after meeting him that we really discovered the ocean that production and sound and all of that actually is. And we also discovered the fact that that ocean begins with the first drop of first being in a nice acoustic space, right? And understanding what that means to your sound, what that means to your guitar, what that means to your voice, what that means to your listening, how you're actually hearing something and how you need to hear the truth. Our biggest experiment with this was in 2008, 2009, in 2005 actually, when we recorded both Plan B and This Is It at the same time at a studio that Didier had built in Chennai called Mahati Studios, which is now a parking lot, quite sadly. And we mixed that album at A.R. Rahman's AM Studios in 2009, and we brought down this Grammy-winning producer from the US to mix it for us, a chap called Jeff Peters, who had worked with Ringo Starr and UB40 and all kinds of big acts like that. So yeah, we basically hawked our livers, sold our kidneys, were in debt for the next 4 or 5 years after that, because we had to pay for it, and but it was worth it. It was totally worth it, because this guy again opened our eyes to just what it means to get someone with that level of experience, that level of expertise to work on something that you're doing, right? And he said very clearly, we used to mix an entire album in 2 days, and he was like, dude, it doesn't work like that. 1 day per song. But we're like, sir, we are paying 5,000 rupees an hour. Do you need 1 day per song? But he was like, dude, you want me to work on it? I need 1 day per song. That's it. So you got 10 songs, you need 10 days. Right? And that's 10 days of 10 8-hour, 9-hour days, right? So now you know why I'm still kind of buying back my kidneys and shit like that.